indication points to an offensive shootout. You wonder how the Chiefs are going to stop Indianapolis. The Chiefs' best asset is their pass rush, where they have a defensive tackle who's had a sack in 16 straight games, but Luck gets protected like Fort Knox. So I don't know who's going to stop who here in this ballgame. I will say this. I was in that stadium, guys, 3 weeks ago for the Thursday nighter against the Chargers, and I've never been in a louder environment in my life. San Diego withstood it, came back late, and won that game. Andrew Luck, I don't have a problem with. It could be the rest of the Colts who are experiencing this for the first time. I wonder if they handle it, because that stadium, I got to tell you, it just gets out of control. And we'll see if things start to go bad for the Colts, if they can handle it. I know Kansas City will handle it. Maybe slight edge towards them, but it's a very good offensive game, no doubt about it.
Rob Vino, part of the team at Sports Memo, outstanding handicapper for many, many years. Rob, let people know how they can find out more about getting your selections, and maybe tease us with one in college basketball tonight.
Yeah, well, sportsmemo.com is absolutely the place to go, Dave, for all selections each and every day. You can find them posted there. It's for tonight. We have a few selections up in college basketball and NBA. I think a 4-play card in all. I'll say this. I'm going to take a little bit of a projection here, guys, on the Kansas-TCU game, and say that it'll go over 151. Both teams have key injuries here. As of week 8, Kansas turns them into a 4-guard offense. Don't have only one starter over 6'5" on this team now. So Bill Self has to change things around and become much more of a tempo team than he would like. They don't have any experienced guys off the bench. It's going to be all guard oriented. And on the other side, Jamie Dixon's team may be without Jalen Fisher again. Since he came back, before he didn't play against Baylor, they had run off 8 straight point spread victories, 8-0 against the number before they failed to cover against Baylor on Saturday. They, too, pretty guard-oriented with a 6'11", 250 center. But I wonder if Kansas just doesn't up-tempo it so that the 6'11", 250 doesn't have an opportunity to do damage inside the paint. I think you're going to see up-and-down track meet here. Last year's results were kind of the same. Both teams shoot it pretty well from 3. Kansas not as good as last year, though. But I'll go that way, guys. Slight lean towards Kansas and TCU over 151.
Great to catch up with you, Rob.
Hey, have a good day, guys. Thanks for having me.
And make sure to follow Rob Vino on Twitter at RobVinoSports. We'll take a quick break, and we will come back and get to our Wager Talk marquee matchup.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
This morning you're up early because you're at the DMV. So many people, it takes so much time. Do you have the right form? Are you in the right line? Your number E42, right after C23. This is confusing when your morning is hell. Just go to Taco Bell.
And let us make you breakfast like Taco Bell's Dollar Grilled Breakfast Burrito. All your favorites like eggs and bacon wrapped up in a grilled tortilla. At participating stores during breakfast hours. Prices may vary. Tax extra.
Vegas happens at the iconic Las Vegas Country Club, established in 1967. If the trees on our course and the walls of our clubhouse could talk, they'd tell you stories about PGA Tour and LPGA Tour champions, the biggest business deals in Las Vegas history, and how for 6 decades, this special place has been the social hub of Las Vegas. We're now accepting new individual and corporate members. Visit LasVegasCC.com or call 734-1122 and become part of our story today. The tradition continues.
The holidays were trying for me. Trying new recipes, new restaurants. I was trying too hard, and I felt sluggish. So this year, I'm trying the Metamucil 2-week challenge. And wow, I just take Metamucil every day for 14 days. And let me tell you, because Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs me down, I'm feeling lighter and more energetic. Are you ready to take the Metamucil 2-week challenge with me? To get a coupon and daily tips, sign up now at Metamucil.com. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com.
Expecting an insurance company to look out for your best interest is like asking Cofield to stick to sports. It's not going to happen. I'm Justin Watkins with Battleborn Injury Lawyers. What's more important to an insurance company, their bottom line or your best interests? Don't go it alone and don't get ripped off. Call Battleborn Injury Lawyers and meet with me or Matt Hoffman. We will represent your best interest and work to maximize your recovery. If you've been injured, call Battleborn Injury Lawyers at 570-9000. That's 570-9000.
What's hot today? It's time for the Wager Talk marquee matchup of the night. WagerTalk.com. Start winning now.
All right, well, NBA, if you notice, we have not mentioned our local team yet. No, they are. They still are. And this is a Lakers country as far as the NBA is concerned. It might change if we get an NBA franchise down the road, but right now it's still Laker Central. And they're at home tonight against the Detroit Pistons. And the Lakers, you got to start picking up some wins because, I know LeBron will be back and they'll start winning games again, but they've lost some valuable ground in this condensed Western Conference race.
Oh, the Western Conference race is insane.
Boy.
Right now, and it's not going to get easier for the Lakers, but they did get Kyle Kuzma back, and that's a big difference.
Big.
4 of 20 from the floor the other night. It didn't matter against Dallas because the Mavs had a pretty rough offensive game, but Kuzma was not in form. Then, of course, Brandon Ingram had a big game, and he's someone that the Lakers need to rely on while LeBron continues to rest his ailing groin.
But if they're looking at the standings right now, they might be starting to say, can you hurry up? We're down here. We're about to fall into the also-ran category. And it's not like these teams that are ahead of the Lakers are suddenly going to start losing games. I mean, it's just, this is going to be a fun race. And believe me, nobody has been more critical of the NBA regular season than I have, calling it a glorified exhibition season and stuff like that. But it looks like it's, and I don't know how, I don't think I actually feel that differently about it now because the whole idea in the West is just make the playoffs. Doesn't matter after that. I mean, I don't think the home court matters at all. But just getting to the playoffs at this point is no sure thing for these teams that are in Laker country.
Well, when you look at the teams on the outside looking in right now, you have the Jazz, the Kings, the T-Wolves, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, the Mavs, the Suns.
Well, there's a couple of those that could make moves. Now, I don't think the Pelicans will because I think they're a disjointed team and they better, they're just going to have to trade it, Davis. But the T-Wolves are interesting.
I don't know if any of those teams makes the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if the 8 teams that are the 8 teams in the postseason right now, because let's put it this way, for one of those teams to make it, the Warriors, Nuggets, Thunder, Clippers, Rockets, Spurs, Blazers, or Lakers, one of those teams doesn't make it.
Okay.
And I think those are the 8 best teams in the West. I think Utah's number 9.
Do you think the Timberwolves...
Now
that they've... I'm not going to say fixed the head coaching position, but look, it was clear that this was not working at all. I mean, it was just a cluster, you-know-what. With Thibodeau, the coach and GM, but he never was really the GM because he didn't have the final say on decisions. And I don't know. I mean, the two-hat thing doesn't work for me anyway. Have a coach and have a GM. I think there's enough personnel there for the Timberwolves to maybe get involved in this.
Nah, I'm not convinced that's the case.
Okay.
And I'm certainly not convinced they're playing the level of defense they're going to need to play with to edge out a LeBron.
Yeah. The Lakers should be in.
They should, and Portland's playing a lot better.
Yeah.
Portland of that group. Maybe you worry about the Clippers have had a slump. The Blazers have had a slump. Those are 2 teams that could fall out of the mix to allow a team like Utah or New Orleans or Dallas. Let's not sleep on the Mavs either. But in terms of tonight, Blake Griffin coming back to the Staples Center, which should be a lot of fun.
It should be.
Although Blake Griffin has become completely irrelevant since joining Detroit. It doesn't take long for anyone's career to go from superstardom to irrelevancy when you spend a year in Detroit.
LPT Play of the Day time.
It's the LPT Play of the Day. Tonight's best bet from Lions Physical Therapy. Your 5-star rated specialists.
All right, LPT. LionsPTLV.com is the website. Search them on, do a Google search. Search ratings. We're not making that stuff about 5 stars. It's a great company. John Lyons does a tremendous job. He'll make you feel whole again. Contact them at Lions PTLV. Let's throw this one out. It's my second favorite game in college basketball tonight. Richmond off a terrible game against Dayton, but they won't be facing the Dayton zone tonight. Rhode Island's not as efficient on the inside. I think Richmond bounces back and sneaks out a win. URI will have Fats Russell back on the floor tonight. He's been cleared to play after a concussion in practice last week. So it's not a strong opinion, but I'll take Richmond plus the points. Thanks to Rob Vino. Thanks to Patrick Everson for Teddy Covers and Harry Platinum. I'm Dave Cokin. Thanks a lot for listening, and stick around. Copeland & Company's coming up next.